Todd Garlington Medical Analysis. Mayor Lumumba, Council, thanks for having us. But I want to introduce our collaborating MD, Dr. Timothy Quinn, who has been such a great asset to us in the clinic. He works with our nurse practitioner and oversees general operations as it pertains to the visits in the clinic. And I asked him to come in and speak just a minute before I step into my Quinn. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As Mr. Garlington said, my name is Timothy Quinn. I'm a family physician, and I'm the collaborating physician for the City of Jackson Clinic. Now, the deal is, we started this clinic about a year ago. And prior to starting the clinic, I was working with the last administration, and we went around to every department of the city, and we did blood pressure screenings. And it was basically an attempt to find out, what our status of health was for the people of the city that support the citizens of Jackson, Mississippi. And unfortunately, overwhelmingly, we discovered that a lot of our city employees have elevated blood pressure. So as a result of this research that we did, we decided to start this clinic. And as you can see, the clinic is saving the city money, but even more importantly, it's potentially saving the lives of a lot of our employees that support the citizens of our great city of Jackson. Some of the barriers that have been lifted include the fact that the clinic is located in the Metro Center Mall, as you know, and that's very convenient because a lot of our employees are overwhelmed because they're working so hard to serve the city. It's hard for them to take off work and go to a clinic. But by it being in the Metro Center where a lot of the city offices are located, that makes convenience very good for them. It's very accessible. Some even come during their lunch break. But one of the best highlights of the clinic is the fact that they don't have to pay an out-of-the-pocket copay. A lot of our city employees, I think you mentioned some of them may not make as much money as they would like, and the deal is it's hard for them to come up with that $20 or $30 copay. But because the clinic does not require a copay out of pocket, well, that even increases the compliance even more. So those individuals out there that might have high blood pressure, they have diabetes, high cholesterol, that can easily be treated. They're going to this clinic, they're using it, and Mr. Garlington is going to share a lot of those numbers of success of people that are coming and following up. And I meet with the nurse practitioner every month. We go through the books and we look at how the people's blood pressures as they come is getting lower and lower. Most of the patients that come there, they're controlled. And for those that are not controlled, as time goes on, we're getting everybody blood pressure controlled, their diabetes, hemoglobin A1Cs, and all the numbers are within the range, so they're safe from having those untimely heart attacks and strokes. I also just wanted to inject one more thing. I was in Atlanta this weekend in a meeting with a gentleman from the Fulton County Health Department, and I'm just going to give you one of these. If you'll pass it around, I'm working with Jackson State, and I apologize for throwing it in, but I'm really excited. They're interested in bringing a wellness seminar, like a summit, to Jackson, Mississippi, and I'll seek guidance on how to come before you all at a later date with more details on it. But this is an email correspondence that I received last night, and working with Mr. Garlington with the clinic, we can do a lot of things with Jackson for the employees, but we can also increase health awareness for our city. And hopefully I can come before you all to talk about this summit, working with the health department in Georgia to bring some activity like this to Jackson, which would be great because it could bring revenue for the hotels, the restaurants, and there are other things that can come from it if it goes well, which I know it will. Thank you all very much. Does anybody have any questions of me as the physician of the clinic?
Do you need any more support in some type of way to make the clinic more viable? I believe that we should market the clinic more through our internal, networks. We could do a little commercial where I'm sure the folks over in the public access channel could help put something together since they're right down the hall.
Reading what we did, and I was working with Mr. Banks at the time to go around to each department of city employees and do screenings at the department in the form of a blood pressure check. And encourage those individuals to follow up in the clinic for their physical exam and to follow up the elevated blood pressure. And the reason we chose blood pressure is because it's the most common problem and it's the highest contributor to cardiovascular disease, which is the #1 cause of death. So that's something that we're looking at doing, but Mr. Garlington, he's going to kind of talk about that more. But also, I'd like the council to consider in the future maybe expanding to 2 nurse practitioners. And with the last administration, we were on the track to getting a bigger facility because right now it's a little bit smaller. But with the increased marketing, the going into the departments doing the blood pressure checks, I anticipate the clinic will grow. And one thing that I mentioned when I first came before you all is convenience. And the fact that you went there, you saw the provider, you didn't have to wait too long. Right now it's pretty convenient because we're only serving the city of Jackson employees. But as it becomes more familiar to them, I anticipate it will grow. So I'd like everybody to just consider in the future to possibly think about helping us to expand to make it even bigger so we can better serve the city employees of Jackson. Thank you all so much, and we really appreciate the opportunity to serve you all. Thank you.
And thank you for your commitment. I know you're rushing back to see patients, so.
Appreciate you.